Assalamualaikum and good day. Welcome to this virtual learning session. I'm Saiful Bahari. You are now with me to learn about amplitude modulation and frequency modulation in communication system fundamentals. Modulation is a process of changing one or more properties of the high frequency analog carrier signal in proportion with the values of information signal. Usually, modulation is performed in a transmitter by a circuit called a modulator, and information can be represented in analog or digital form. Accordingly, the modulator can be performed either as an analog or digital modulator. The information signal combines the carrier in the modulator to produce a high-frequency modulated signal. An analog modulation, both information signal and carrier signal are in analog waveform. First type of an analog modulation is called as amplitude modulation, EM. EM is the process of changing the amplitude of analog carrier signal in proportion with the amplitude of the analog information signal. In AM, the amplitude of the carrier signal is varied to the proportional to the information signal. However, the frequency and phase of the carrier signal remain unchanged. Let's see an example. If carrier amplitude Vc equal to 7 volt, modulating amplitude Vm equal to 3 volt, carrier frequency Fc equal to 2000 Hz, and modulating frequency Fm equal to 300 Hz. We can notice that the carrier amplitude simply has changed according to the amplitude of the modulating or information signal. Obviously, when the amplitude of the modulating signal increase, the amplitude of the carrier signal also increase, or vice versa. Second type of analog modulation is known as frequency modulation, FM. FM is the process of changing the frequency of analog carrier signal in proportion with the amplitude of the analog information signal. In FM, the frequency of the carrier signal is varied in proportional to the information signal. But still, the amplitude and phase of the carrier signal remain unchanged. Let's look at an example. If carrier amplitude Vc equal to 7 volt, modulating amplitude Vm equal to 9 volt, carrier frequency Fc 3000 Hz, modulating frequency Fm 300 Hz, and sensitivities Kf equal to 100. The amount of carrier frequency change is proportional to the amplitude of the information signal. Clearly, as the modulating signal amplitude increase, the carrier frequency increase as well, or vice versa. In general, a modulated waveform consists of a carrier waveform and a modulating waveform. The main difference between these two modulations is that in AM, the voltage level of the modulation waveform changes the amplitude of the carrier. On the contrary, in FM, the voltage level of the modulation waveform changes the frequency of the carrier. That's all from me. I hope this video will help you to understand this subtopic. See you again. Thank you.